Hey y'all, welcome back to the A2 Ylang Ylang Oil Spotlight, and we're going to talk another flower this week. And once again, Dominic is super excited about the chemistry because this beautiful flower, rose, which at first in doTERRA was only available as like a special promotion, and then they made it available to everybody in the Touch pre-diluted roller bottle ready to go. And then at the convention in 2019, they released the 5 milliliter of rose essential oil for, I believe, $275 at the wholesale cost. And everybody was like, whoa! Ooh! But we're going to tell you why it was...
Yeah, ooh.
Yeah, ooh. So we are saving up for that one. We have not yet gotten that one, but I love the Rose Touch. So we're going to tell you why it's so expensive, all about it, why you're going to want this one. Like we're learning with so many of the flowers are not just beautiful, they're powerful for emotional health, but they're powerful in the body too, and they have amazing therapeutic benefits. So doTERRA's rose is sourced from Bulgaria. There's so many species of rose, but the Bulgarian rose is particularly noted for its smell, its potent smell, its powerful emotional benefits as well. It's also smaller production, it's a smaller yield, more scarce than a lot of the other ones, so it's very valuable. Rose also has a lot of historical significance. Many of the East Asian and Western European, or no, East European, Western Asian, yeah, that whole region, the Middle East, have used rose for centuries. Avicenna, who was sort of the Persian philosopher, scientist, who's kind of noted for doing the first sort of modern distillation, isolated rose and made rose water and sort of the first essential oil, as it were. But, okay, so that's a lot.
Whew.
And here we go. Are we ready for chemistry?
So, when we talk about this rose, this isn't like the rose that you would give your beautiful
Sweetheart.
wife, or whomever. It's not that deep red rose that we all know. This thing, it's a lot more open, a looser rose, and so you get
It's
this
small.
Yeah, and it's not huge, but you get these lovely petals from it. And if you've ever touched a petal of a rose, you'll notice it feels different. It's not like a normal flower. It's very waxy,
Okay.
right? And we're going to come back to that, but I want to revisit the distillation first because rose is special and it's so delicate and it's so prized, not only for therapeutic essential oil use, but just fragrances. And so what they do is, if you were to just throw a bunch of these rose petals in a normal steam distillation unit, they all mass up and they get stuck together because they're waxy. They just kind of form this plug and it doesn't work. So what they actually do is they do a hydrodistillation. So they just use hot water. They don't use steam. And they do the distillation that way. And that's the first cut. And that will yield the true rose oil. And so you do the distillation, you get the water and oil, you pull it out together, you let it separate, you skim off that oil. Then you take the rose hydrosol, which is the water left over, and you run that through an actual steam distillation. And that will generate a rose water oil. And then they take those two oils and they combine them, and that's actually what's called rose otto, which is the rose oil that we have. It's about 25% of that first decant oil and 75% from the hydrosol distillation. You have to be careful though, because this is tough. And then they take that oil and they actually let it sit in the sunlight. They put it in clear glass, let it sit. It reacts with the sun. Some of the molecules react with the sunlight a little bit, and it actually will cause impurities to rise to the top. Then they skim that, and then boom, that's your oil. So
Then boom.
And
all of that, and then boom.
Yeah, and then you're talking about thousands of petals.
Yeah.
Of thousands of flowers with many petals to generate just these tiny yields.
And we've heard it's approximately 10,000 roses to generate one 5 milliliter bottle of rose essential oil, which has to be, they're hand-picked. They have to be distilled the day that they're picked. Obviously, it's very low yield and a lot involved in the distillation.
And so it's not just the essential oil, but also perfume and everything. You know, they want to control this. Highly, highly prized oil. Just be careful. There is a rose absolute out there, but that's primarily just for the fragrance. You know, they use hexane and it's a solvent extraction. You don't want that. You want the rose auto. Okay, so that's a lot of distillation, but it's important. So what happens is the oil you get is predominantly an alcohol chemistry. 50 to 70% of this oil is alcohol. And you have citronellol, geraniol, and nerol. Probably all heard them before if you've listened to our videos. So it's a lot of flower oils, a lot of alcohols from flowers in this oil. And you also get a good amount of monoterpene, and it's predominantly a monoterpene called stereoptene. It's not common in other oils, but it's very high. It's like, I didn't write it down, but I think it's like 15 or like 19% when 25% of this oil might be monoterpene. So it's interesting that rose like has these 1 or 2 compounds that dominate the chemistry, and then this plethora of minor stuff. But I want to come back to the waxiness. Okay. So because of the distillation process and because of the compounds present in the rose petals, you end up with a high alkane content. Now you're like, alkane? I've never heard this. Whenever you study organic chemistry, the first thing you learn about are alkanes. Okay. Methane, ethane, propane, butane, all have that A-N ending. They're waxes. They're straight chain hydrocarbons. They're just a straight backbone of carbon with hydrogen off of them. Okay. When you talk about rose, you're getting up to C19, C20, these really long straight chains, which are waxes. So, okay, why do I care? They stay on your skin. So basically, when you use rose, and why perfumeries love this stuff, is it lingers for hours and hours and hours because of this high alkane content to the oil, and it's unique. It's unique among really cool. The essential oil chemistry. There you go. So, this is like no substitute. Like when you think about, well, maybe I could use another flower like helichrysum or something like that. No, like rose is rose, and there's a reason for the price point, but there's a reason why it's so coveted, and why would we want to use it?
Well, I mean, the skin stuff, obviously. So we talked that essential oils are volatile aromatic compounds. So aromatic, what you smell. Volatile means they change state. They can evaporate, change from a liquid to a gas. So that's really cool that rose will stay longer, because I know some people talk about, you have to keep applying them, or if you're diffusing them, they'll, eventually evaporate. So rose is remarkable for the skin, and actually it has properties that will help balance your skin's moisture and your skin's pH. So it's in the beautiful and amazing Immortelle anti-aging blend, which you can kind of pick what works for you. Everybody's skin is a little bit different, so you got to find what works. But I really like just doing the Immortelle. Somebody just referred me to rose hip seed oil to use as a carrier oil for my face, so I'm going to try that one. But I just put the Immortelle diluted on at night because it works great. I don't use a moisturizer or anything, and so I'm getting kind of that daily rose, the daily frankincense, the helichrysum, and all. Or every now and then I'll take just the rose touch and rub that on. But it's also really powerful. Rose is great for the immune system, so it also helps with any other skin things that come up, particularly if you get some nasty stuff that you've picked up, say from like all those bounce houses or something icky.
Yeah, it's a good topical one, especially for even older children. Yeah. If they happen to pick up something, rub a little bit of rose.
Again, Melaleuca touch, and then doing your On Guard and all the other immunity boosting things as well. But because our rose comes in a touch, so obviously it's ready for topical application. So it's ready to go here. So you've got a perfume, your personal scent. If you get the 5 milliliter of rose, it is also aromatic and topical. So you wouldn't want to use this one internally, unlike many of the other flowers. You could, but it's not recommended. And there are a lot of other things for a lot of other purposes. Why would you want? Why would you want to waste rose that way? But some options. So if you get a couple of the touch roller bottles, once one is empty, then you could pull some off and keep one plain rose and use one to like create your own scent. So it would go well with some of the woods like cedar wood or sandalwood. Obviously some of the other flowers, or you could use like Ylang Ylang if you like it really floral. And actually, we didn't even talk about the scent. How do you like the scent of rose?
I mean, it's rose. I mean, it's a very sweet, to me, a very sweet smelling flower. Yeah, it's very iconic in that sense.
It's not as cloying sweet as like geranium.
No.
It's a nice sweet, but I don't know. I would do a little bit. Obviously, you could wear it as a perfume. It is a bit of an aphrodisiac.
Yeah.
You can also rub some over your heart, and for the emotional benefits of it, that kind of just opens you up to receiving that divine love and that divine grace, and kind of knowing you are loved unconditionally, and so receiving.
Yeah, it's it's in terms of the skin, blemishes, wounds, scars, spirituality. Mm-hmm. It's a very rejuvenating and enhancing oil. And one of the reasons for that is, of all the known natural compounds that are out there, rose essential oil has the highest electromagnetic frequency. And so what that means is it is literally like vibrating. Molecules, they have vibrational energy to them. It's vibrating the fastest of anything that we know out there. And so what that means of the natural substances. And so what that means is it's got really high potential to interact and help the body. And so even just putting like a drop on your heart center once a day, you're essentially just giving yourself that energy, that molecular energy that can help you with emotional things, or even with your skin and whatnot.
Yes, we're learning more. I mean, our cells are vibrating all the time. Like, our whole body is electromagnetic, and we're vibrating, and thoughts are real things. It's an electric firing, and so we're just learning about this and how those frequencies can impact our body positively or negatively. So it's pretty cool finding out that rose is so beautiful and powerful in that way.
So let's wrap up with the other blends. I think we you mentioned Immortelle, but we got 3 others here.
It is in the Whisper blend, which is the one that's pre-created to blend with your natural scent. I wasn't wild about Whisper, but I know many who like it. Experiment with it. So I would do like take my own rose and mix jasmine or something with it. Okay, it is in the Kids Stronger blend, which we mentioned, great for the immune system. Stronger is kind of the kids' version of the On Guard, which is the immunity boosting blend. And this has Litsea, frankincense, rose, and cedar wood. So, kids, boost your immune systems. Or, adults, you could use this. Heck, use this on your face.
It's got wonderful stuff. Litsea and cedar wood.
Yeah, cedar wood's great. Yeah, you could use this on your face. Okay, it's in, Dominic likes this one, the Align, the centering blend.
Yeah, it's from the yoga collection.
Yeah, and tell you about those vibrations. As we get to learning more about the individual oils, I'm kind of seeing that's sort of why it's in these blends that they've created for this purpose. And it's in Console, the comforting blend, which is one of those that I've heard it described anywhere from it's nostalgic, it smells like my grandma's house, or some people who've been working through the loss for a miscarriage said that this oil just really helped them kind of process that. So
there you go.
Does the
Rose.
blend.
It's amazing.
Rose. Did we get it? Oh, it also does help with women's and men's
reproductive
systems.
Yeah, this is a good one to use for support there.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it. It's a little simple in its application, but it's very powerful, and it's prized for its scent. And really, you can cook with rose, but I would actually go with the hydrosol rose water. You can get that available too. So I wouldn't, like Jesse said, if you're going to really invest in this, use it for the benefits that it can provide in acute application rather than cooking with it. But if you like rose flavored chocolates, use rose water.
You could. And actually, I just remember my friend was at a carnival, and you know it's gross, and she didn't have anything on her, so she even used her rose touch just to cleanse her kids' hands.
There you go.
So you will want it. It's lovely. It does a lot more. It does a lot more things. Just well, we just don't even know all the amazing things that it does, and we can't really say them. But
so next time we're gonna go to rosemary.
which
talk
is
about
one of your favorites.
Yeah,
it's
I do like
It's a more
rosemary.
manly scent than rose.
It's a good one. But that's next time.
Yes.
So let us know in the comments how you use rose. We like reading what you have to say about our channel and these videos,
Yeah.
and we will see you next time.
Thanks.